Hello, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the VR Link. Thank you all for joining us. How you doing? You had a good week?
Not bad.
Nice. What about you
Yeah,
guys?
man, good.
Yeah, sweet. What about you, Souse? What have you been up to? Where is Souse? Where is he?
He's
off-
disappeared.
He's
There
off to
he
Brazil to go
is.
celebrate another goal.
There he is. You alright, Souse?
Hello.
Hello, mate. How you doing?
Nice of you to join us, man.
I thought
Nice.
we had time.
How you doing? How you got in the chats? Bruce Cody Friars, Toby, German Rifter, Captain Chrissy, how you doing? Feli, Mick, Boy Brown, Jimif Jamif. Nice guys. Thank you for joining us. Alex VR. Cushy stuff, guys. Cushy. So, welcome to episode 46 of the VR Link. This is your weekly Sunday service VR podcast that gives you and us a chance to discuss some of the latest news, games, and goings on in virtual reality. And there is a lot of goings on this week. Allow me to introduce my co-host, Sal from Sal's Ketchup VR.
Hello, everybody.
Nat from the 7 Degrees Gaming.
Hi guys.
And Dane from Get to the Chopper VR.
Howdy, strangers.
So finally, for those of you who are on the move, you can listen again to the VR Link as a podcast on Anchor and Spotify. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank the amazing patrons and channel members whose names are listed below. You helped me buy some new lighting this week, so thank you very much. If you're looking for ways to support this channel, please check the links in the description. And while you're there, please consider joining our community Discord. So I hope everyone has had a good week in the chat. Thank you for being here. Please let us know what you've been playing this week while we go over this week's releases, and happy Mother's Day to all the American mums out there. Thank you.
Word to
I
your
was
mothers.
wondering how you'd get that sentence to come off well.
Word to your mothers. That's it, man. Yeah, so what have you been playing? Let's have a go. Nat, what have you been up to this week, mate? What have you been playing?
Not too much. I had a quick try of Echo VR, and Chopper got us code for motor racing.
Mini Motor Racing X.
Whatever that is.
Yeah.
So I tried both of those. Honestly, they're not my games. I
Right.
didn't like either of them. Not saying they're bad games; they're just not for me. I didn't enjoy them. To be honest, I've completely gone off multiplayer at the moment. I've just shut down on
You've gone
multiplayer.
to the single
Yeah,
player.
I've just shut down completely on multiplayer games. I'm sick of them. So I just want to play single player games. So while I appreciate you for getting me the code, it was just like after about 5 minutes, it was like, I'm bored. I don't want to play this anymore, which was a shame. And to be honest, with Echo VR, it was exactly the same thing. I was playing it, and literally I was just thinking, you know what? I'd rather just be playing Lone Echo. I don't want to play this.
Yeah.
So, like I say, it's nothing about. I'm not denigrating the games or anything. It's just like I say, I am not into multiplayer games.
No, that's cool, man. Not everyone's into multiplayer.
And so for me,
So
those games are just like,
it
oh,
expresses the needs of those who are not into multiplayer gaming at the moment. So if you are not into multiplayer gaming at the moment, then take Nat's advice. These may not be for you.
There you go.
bring the happiness. Nat Midlife has just said. I always bring the happiness.
It's like a bloody thunderstorm. The thunderstorm of VR.
It's the thunderstorm of happiness.
He
As
is,
long as
yeah.
you give him a good bit of narrative.
He's a pink cloud.
Single player game.
He's a pink cloud with thunder and lightning.
Then it's a good way to go. That Persona 5.
Yes. So, Dane, what have you been playing this week, mate?
So obviously a few of these we're going to talk about in a bit more depth later on, but Walking Dead on the PSVR.
Mhm.
Very, very nice.
Yeah, man.
I think I played a bit more Echo at some point. Echo VR. I really like that. I think that's brilliant. I'm sure at some point I played Hyper Dash as well, which is wicked.
You did with Jimith.
Yeah, I did. I never remember which week it is. I'm getting lost in all the days now.
Yeah, for sure.
I actually played Down the Rabbit Hole on PSVR as well. I played it on Oculus Quest before, and I streamed it on PSVR, and then the video got pulled down. And I'll talk a bit.
What's that?
In a minute.
All right,
My
okay.
video. So I did a stream of Down the Rabbit Hole,
Yeah.
and in my video,
Oh,
it got
yes,
pulled
yeah,
down.
yeah.
It got removed, completely removed. because of it broke terms of service apparently, and it was my ill timed use of the phrase blue pill or red pill. I think that just the use of blue pill was the thing that got it chucked off.
Oh,
There
you
was no
thought you're
details
like
given.
promoting drugs or something. So it's like,
Yeah, man.
All
And
right.
also the fact blue pill, along with the game being called Down the Hole, probably didn't go well together. To be fair. So yeah, so that got
What?
removed. That was great. And then I also tried Audio Trip, which got released on the Oculus Quest some days ago.
Yeah.
And I think that was it, really. I think that was it. But we'll go into more detail on those shortly, I'm sure.
Nice. What about you, Salsa? What have you been playing this week?
Well, along with yourself, a bit of the Minimoto X, which I had some good fun with. I think as a co-op thing and as a multiplayer, that was great. And was joined as well by Jimus Jameth there.
And
to do
Zintok?
a little
wasn't
bit
it?
in,
I know
in
that was later
the arena side of it. What was it? The
is it Bubble Ball? No, what's it called?
Bubble.
Bumper Ball.
Bumper
That's it,
Ball,
man. Which
yeah.
is basically
Yeah.
Rocket League, but there's no jumping. And it feels like a bit of a a bit of a clickbaity thing to say Rocket League, but dude, it is. It does play and feel like Rocket League.
Basically a lot like it. I mean, you can get the cars to go up off of the side, and if you do the turbo, it will kind of like come off at an angle and go onto its roof. Which, if you're in the in-car game, in-car view, is one hell of a trip. It's like, whoa!
Yeah, it's wicked.
Yeah, it's good, man.
It is really good. What? I need to look up what I played this week because I've been busy again.
Well, the other side as well just was the beta for let me see, Echo VR. So I got on the beta for that. A bit of Walking Dead, but on the PC side, just to remind myself a little bit more on there, since I got my link back up working. A little bit more. There's another update to Automobilista, so that's coming on great. Very pleased with how that's going. So they're up to 0.91 now.
Impressive.
So getting very close to release.
What? So one is going to be released. Is that what they're saying?
One is release.
Yeah.
The early access is all 0. So I started off about 0.7, 0.6, 0.7, something like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
And now they're up to 0.91 release, and it's starting to come together really, really nice. So getting a bit more confident with that title as well, which is really, really good.
With the amount of money you put into it, you'd hope so, wouldn't you? To be honest, is it
$3,000 now, isn't it?
Hey,
It's up to $3,000 he spent on
it's
it now.
boomer money. It's not real money.
No, it's $100.
It's $100.
That's
$100
how much I'm spending on it for the entirety. Well,
Excellent.
until they get to the point of new cars coming out, which won't be, in my case, for about a year.
Yeah. Done a full playthrough of Star Wars Vader Immortal earlier in the week for May the 4th. Then I started playing Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, which we're going to get into in a minute. Start
We've
talking
got
about some
good
details.
news on the that. Are we going to talk about the thing later on as well with Vader Immortal?
The thing.
Yeah. That it's coming to PSVR.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about The Walking Dead. What?
No, Vader Immortal is going to PSVR.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it.
Okay.
I was just saying I've done a full playthrough of it. That's all to celebrate May the 4th.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Also played Echo VR, which is really good. Played it with oh god, she's gonna kill me. What's her name? She's an amazing part of the community, dude. Yeah, Hasco, that's it.
Hasco 7, that's the one.
Yeah, she's amazing. So yeah, played with her. She does incredible work in there, dude. Like, she's dealing with all the kids and stuff, like keeping them all really busy and occupied. You know what I mean? Like, you're going in there, you can hear them all screaming and shouting. And she's like, "Come over here, let's all do this." And they're all holding on together and they're doing. And I was just like in awe. You know, she's just so happy and absolutely loves it in there. It's a
Yeah,
real,
she is.
it is
Ray
really
of
nice.
sunshine, isn't she? Really.
Yeah, it's uplifting.
Yeah.
Very energetic, but still in control, and that's one hell of a talent.
Yeah, definitely. Then we checked out Mini Motor Racing X, which I think comes out a little bit later. And then randomly, American Truck Simulator in VR, which is absolutely incredible. It's amazing. I can't believe how good it is. I absolutely love it. I think it's brilliant. I think it's fantastic. Let's have a look. What's everyone been playing this week? What we got, guys, in the chat? Has anyone had a look? We got...
A lot of The Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners.
I hope so.
Yeah,
It is so
Pixel
good.
Ripped, 1995, which of course is great. What else have we got?
Toby Harris has said, "What have you been playing in quarantine, GT?" Literally everything I play, you see, it will be usually on the channel. So yeah.
We got some more VR fishing and VR invaders.
VR fishing. What's that? Real fishing VR.
Real
Oh,
fishing
I love
VR,
that,
yeah.
man. That is so good.
That's good.
Yeah, Boy Brown. I'm not into multiplayer gaming generally, but I love Echo VR. Yeah, and there's definitely some tips and tricks to playing that. Because when I first played it with like Dane and Boy Brown, everyone was just flying past me so fast. I was like,
Yep.
if I'm holding on to this bloody ring to launch with everyone, why are they going double my speed? And there is a way of figuring it out. Basically, as you come out of that ring, pull yourself out at the same time, and you're not on double your speed. And you can bounce off walls instead of having to grip them. All sorts of different things going on.
Yeah,
you can slap
there's
the disc instead of grip
a
it and
set
throw it.
metric, isn't there?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
When you push your boost button, you've got a set thing. When you launch yourself from something, you've got another set thing. So if you launch yourself off them, you plus 10. Press your boost, you plus another 10. Somebody else dragging on, plus another 10 onto your speed.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is, but I managed to go from one side of the arena to the other in like under 5 seconds.
Like, boom.
At one point, it was crazy.
Like a bullet.
Yeah. So that was cool. Believe it or not, the first time we played it, I didn't know you had a back booster. I thought you just had the wrist boosters. So
Oh, yeah, you got the extra one. Yeah.
yeah, so it's like yeah. So and in the HUD, it actually shows you how fast you're going. Jimmy was playing. What was he playing? He was playing. Oh my god, he hasn't played Echo VR yet. So he played Hyper Dash and Rocket. Cool, excellent stuff. Right, let's get on with some news, man. Let's just talk about this week's releases actually, because I think we should talk about. The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, because the way PSVR was going for a little while.
Such good news for them over that.
I was getting really worried, man. I was getting really worried that things just weren't happening.
It came out of nowhere. What have we got on in the middle here? That's something different.
Yeah. I was just putting up some gameplay. That is Undead Citadel coming out later on in the year, hopefully at some point. And there's like been some new gameplay put up. And I just thought I'd play it in the middle. I'm going to talk about it a little bit later. But just see what you guys think about it, because I know there's a lot of hype around it. I've personally played it and I think it's really good. But yeah.
Well, again, you're looking at that like, here we go. Here, Saints and Sinners. That's better. But yeah, I'm very happy to hear about Saints and Sinners, because that came out of nowhere.
No, it was announced a long time ago. The only concern everyone had was the control scheme.
Date-wise. Date-wise.
Oh yeah,
it
just came out of nowhere, but it was, they
we all knew it was coming, but nobody knew.
And it was
when.
coming soon.
Yeah.
It was a very good stealth drop though, because everyone was like, whoa, this is out today. And then they didn't see anything from their social media for, I don't know, for like good, it might have been a day, but like a long while after they actually released on the stores. And I'm not sure if that was down to the issue that they had trying to get it across all of the stores in Europe, because I know that was a bit of a thing. Like it came out in the UK, but it wasn't available in like Holland and I think some other places. But yes, absolutely incredible news.
Yeah.
Like you said, GT, we was getting a little bit worried about PSVR, just because there's been a string of some games that maybe not that great, and then this came along and it's amazing.
And all and to be fair, like we've got in this week's show a PSVR section, because there's that much news. Normally I just do news and but this is part of the weekly releases thing. I will do the news the slogan at some point. But yeah, animation. But yeah, so for me, I think this port, it looks a little bit more foggier. textures are a little bit lower in places, a lot lower in some places, but I would say they've been cleverly lowered. They're places that you don't necessarily need to be looking at all the time. They're things that aren't important, kind of thing. And all in all, I thought it was amazing. I'm really happy to play it on PSVR. Do you know what I mean? I'm not just playing it on PSVR because it's there. I'm happy to do a whole gameplay through of this game all over again because it's a great game, and I think it's up there in my top 10.
Yeah, I agree 100%. So when I first started playing it, I didn't even notice graphics or anything like that. But a few people were asking me when I was streaming it, and I was like, hang on a sec, let me have a click around. And I was like, actually, yeah, it's a little bit blurry. The graphics, some of the textures, like you said, are low in some places, but I didn't notice it as I was playing. It was more if I stopped and then maybe stared at something, or if that, do you know what I mean? Or if someone called it out, then I noticed it. But it didn't detract from the gameplay. It still looked all right, and it played amazingly. Like the physics is the big part that you really wanted that to work from the trailers and from everyone else playing on PC. Said it was so good, so fun, and it works really well with the moves, and that was the biggest concern. I think I had maybe one tiny minor tracking issue once in like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Which is like you play any other game on PSVR for 2.5 hours, you're probably going to get a lot more than that for lower quality games as well. So this was amazing, and I need to jump back into it. I really do want to.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So much fun, and it's a really good game as well. If you forget about the fact that it's VR and it's interactive and it's immersive, and you're like stabbing the zombies in the head and all that sort of stuff, and the physics, just the game itself has got a really good kind of setup with the survival aspect. Like you've got your health and your stamina you need to monitor. If you can eat like consumables, but they might take your health away and bring your stamina up. So that's already a tactical decision on how to, keep yourself surviving. Then you've got to worry about how much stuff you're taking back to kind of, craft. And you've got to make all these decisions constantly, as well as the actual game having decisions with different NPCs, whether you side with one, side with another.
And then you've got the other
There's a
thing
lot
of
to
like,
it.
if you save often and sleep, then your the amount of stuff you can collect goes down, but the zombies go up. So it's yeah.
That's what I wanted to do. I was like, I'm going to go out, I'm going to spend ages like hoarding everything and just keep doing that until I'm buffed up, then I'll play the game. And it was like, and when I went to sleep, it said, there's less resources now in the world and there's more zombies. I was like, what?
Yeah, that's
and
not
everyone
good.
was like, yeah, it gets harder the more you sleep, and you can only do like a supply run once a day. I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
There's a lot to think about constantly as you're playing.
I'm playing it
from everyone, it's like 16 hours of gameplay.
Yeah, so my first playthrough, and that was live, was 12 hours. 12
Nice.
hours it took me. This time, I think I've done 2 videos. There might be around the 4 or 5 hour mark, and I would say I'm probably around the 8 to 9 hour mark of my previous gameplay. So
Yeah.
I'm a little bit more ahead, but I've definitely been more aware of the days. And funny enough, someone was like, there's people obviously trying to look for holes. They're trying to look for, this can't be as good as PC VR. And I get that completely because I don't think anyone expected it to be as good as it is.
How's the physics compared? Because I haven't played the PSVR version.
It's awesome.
I bought the PC version, and I would be buying the PSVR version if I did play it. So it's still comparable. You still got that nice where if you go slowly to stab a zombie, it's gonna just sort of have the knife wiggle off them or something.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah, it does. All that stuff is there, man. All that stuff is there. I was personally very surprised by it actually, and I just think it's such a big win for PSVR at the moment. They needed something like this. Not only do they need something that looks good and plays good, they need something with gameplay length. Something you can play and then revisit again. Like if I wasn't streaming this game like back in the day, I'd easily pump at least 20 to 40 hours in this. I think
a good single player game with narrative of sorts, and something you can just immerse yourself into, get a bit lost in, and it actually be of such high quality. I think it's definitely exactly what the PSVR was needing right now.
Yeah. Now, did you check this out this
week? In
week?
my top 5 of all time, for sure.
Yeah.
Away.
Yeah. Well, I was asked that, but I just didn't know where to put it. I was like,
yeah, I wouldn't know exactly where.
Yeah, so when you're playing it, you want to go, this is number 1, but then you think of how amazing other games are. So it's like, it's really tough.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to games on PC or stuff that's really looking to be the heavy hitters and innovators, the real movers and shakers, towards the next version of what VR games is all going to be about. Walking Dead: Saints and Sinners is one of the big dogs.
It is, yeah.
Out there, because I mean, there's basically about 4 or 5 games that have the sort of intrinsic matter to make what I would love to see as going on in gaming, and that's one of
it's a AAA title, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So earlier in the week, I was helping a fellow streamer called Wolfie Smith. He was playing the game, and I just wanted to share a clip with you quickly of helping him. Or not, because for some reason it didn't work. Hold on. There you go.
It's over here. Can ya? Oh, I'll have to try that. Oh, actually, yeah, I'll have to...
Okay, here we go.
So just whack him over the head with it. If I get my face eaten now, because I'm trying to smack somebody with an old trainer, I want to blow him up, but I've lost my gun. You can't bloody...
I couldn't help myself.
It cuts off so well.
He was just like, oh, bless him. I felt really bad, but I was just like, I was crying with tears, knowing like that's an edited clip, so it took a good 3 to 4 minutes of build up before a zombie come along, and he's got this shoe ready to beat him up with a shoe, and I was just thinking, oh, I can't wait for zombies to get hold of him. Yeah,
I do like that you can still get a zombie with a frying pan.
yeah, there's certain things you can't hit him with, so I can see why he probably thought. You know what I mean? He probably is doing...
Yeah, you can hit him with it. It just doesn't do anything. Like it wouldn't do anything
Yeah.
in real life.
You know.
In the zombie apocalypse, that's coming.
You need a good solid brick is the old answer, isn't it?
Oh,
Or
it
a
was
stiletto.
Frying pan works really well.
He is one of my...
You do really have to whack him pretty damn hard with the frying pan, as he said.
Yeah, for sure. He's one of my favourite people to actually watch. Just chill out and watch. He's lovely. He's such a nice guy. Yeah, so
I can imagine his reaction.
yeah, he's been a good sport with that as well. And I think his next stream was labelled saying like don't use shoes or something. I don't know. So,
Zombies don't kill. Zombies aren't killed by trainers.
That's it. It's something like, I can't remember what it is, but it's something along those lines. So let's talk a bit about Echo. I know Nat has basically said he doesn't want to play it because it is just a multiplayer part. That is all it is. It is pure multiplayer. You can jump in.
Oh, don't get me wrong. It looks amazing.
I think graphically it looks very good in the Quest, but be prepared if you do go on PC VR, you will be wowed because
you will
it is a big difference. It's almost like when you like. I jumped in on the Quest. I've been playing the Quest version like 3 or 4 times this week. I haven't thought about PC VR. You go in there, you think this looks fantastic. Like it's more than what you'd hope for. But then when you go in the PC VR version, there is a big difference.
But I would still want to play in the Quest a bit more.
That's exactly why Buck is thinking about getting a Quest, because he wants the wireless freedom. Because I've seen people play this dude, and they play it in a 4-foot square. Pretty much nothing around it, because you want to physically jump to grab that disc. Like the amount of times I can't, because obviously when I'm streaming, I'm worried about hitting things and stuff and trying to stay in that camera. But offline, dude, I'd set this up downstairs, out of the way, and I can just leap around. And I'd be better at the game for it, because you're always like that much away from the disc, and you're like, oh god, if I knew I could jump.
Unfortunately, when I was playing, the largest space that I've got clear space at the moment, is the kitchen.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's got sort of like hanging down lights, like one bit that's kind of chandelier type thing, and the other bit is a very modern design that kind of comes down. And I almost crashed the chandelier bit, so I was a bit like, "Oops."
Nice.
You don't want to be doing that. So do make sure you got room if you're gonna play Echo VR.
I think out of every game I've played, like Blade and Sorcery is another one you need to be careful of. That's one you reach around a lot. Gorn's going to be the same. When people play that, you're going to realise that you need to be careful because you're going to get lost in the action and you're going to swing and you're going to whack something. There was someone in the chat earlier that said he busted his hand playing Echo VR, and it doesn't surprise me. It really, I'm not surprised.
I've seen loads of things popping up over like Reddit, Facebook, all that sort of stuff saying busted my TV, busted my hand, all attributed to Echo because it's obviously super fast paced. It's very energetic. You're moving lots. It's a lot easier to do than on other games.
To anybody playing anything, especially Echo, I'm sort of like, don't play in front of a TV. Why are you playing in front of a TV? You know, things like that. Play as far away from anything as that as you can. But
Some people are limited for space, aren't they? That's the thing.
Well, yeah. Well, we all are. Like I said, you know.
We've got
myself included. But I think one of the important things about this on Quest is that although, say, the graphics are more basic, the texturing's more basic, and the polygon count is lower, but it's still absolutely pin sharp.
Yeah. Again, you're right. It's very
you
sharp.
Still see that far away distance in the detail you need to aim, get where you are, appraise the situation from tactical point of view, and then you've got the whole, you've got the whole freedom of movement, which I think in this, to be able to move your body more freely than to go back to stick motions is a lot better.
Yes, it's superb. How you doing, everyone in the chat? Kazushari, how you doing? Watto, some people said hello and I missed them. Hello, Ham. Who else turned up earlier that I missed to say hello to? Blue Pill.
Kaz and Cherry is in here as well.
Yeah, nice. German Rifter, how you doing? You all right? Yeah, and the game's free, dude. Like,
what do you want for free?
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
That boggles my mind. It boggles my mind.
It does because
it's so popular.
You know,
Well, I think it was something that was most probably going to be tagged on to Lone Echo. It wouldn't surprise me because obviously we're used to games and then them having a multiplayer component, and most probably Ready at Dawn, who are obviously the developer of it, just most probably were like, you know what, let's sell Lone Echo because that's going to be our big AAA franchise title, which we know it is because they're making Lone Echo 2, which obviously they've now come out and said should still be coming out this year, even thanks to the corona. But I think it was just a case of, you know what, the multiplayer's working. We're just, let's try and build an audience. Like I say, I have played multiplayers in the past, and like I say, I'm just at a point at the moment. I don't want to play multiplayer games, and that's the only reason I'm not interested in really continuing with Echo VR. But the thing is, it is free, and maybe in 3 months' time or something, it'd be like, you know what, I'm kind of sick of the single player games. I'm burnt out a little bit on those. Let's jump back into the multiplayers. Because like last year when Call of Duty Modern Warfare came out, I was really into the multiplayer for that for like 3 weeks. Really enjoyed it. And then after 3 weeks, it was just like, the cheaters are getting in there now, especially on the PC side. It was just like, not fun anymore. I'll leave that alone. But no, you can't knock it. It's free. And, it will gain a significant user base on the Quest market, which is obviously growing exponentially, which is fantastic news. And it's been out on the PC side for a long time.
I can't tell you how many times I've heard people say this is their number one game on Quest now.
Yep.
Don't surprise me.
Honestly, so many times, and Ham has a great point. And it's true. The learning curve is massive on Echo VR, and that's what will keep people coming back, because you can be like a veteran of the game, and hopefully you'll hand down that knowledge to other people and help them out and become better at the game, because that'll give you better matches. There's stuff to unlock as well, isn't there? Like gear and that by a level XP in, and there's
tons of reason to keep coming back, and it's just quick. It's quick and easy, and it's again one of these things like multiplayer. You can play a match, and it doesn't. You keep playing, if that makes sense. You don't get suddenly chucked out. It's a match. You're playing. You're going back and forth. It doesn't suddenly stop. If you know what I mean, it carries on. You get a few rounds going on as well. it's just really, it's a really great online game to play.
I was in there practicing, and I think, don't quote me on this, is a whole match 5 minutes or 6 minutes or something?
Oh,
They're
I
not very
dunno.
long.
I didn't even know.
Yeah,
I
they're
don't
not that long because
So involved.
they are rather physical. I
Yeah.
can't remember.
They are physical. They're not very long, but when you're playing this game, it's over so fast because it just doesn't take long. Like,
It's fast paced.
you're having so much fun. Yeah, it's full on, and once again, to be free is absolutely fantastic. I can't believe it.
Freedom.
So let's quickly talk about Audio Trip, because that also got released on the Oculus Quest. I haven't checked it out on the Quest. I did really enjoy the game back when I played it on PC, but I've never felt the need to go back to it, because in a way I feel like we've got loads of those games, so it's like very hard for me to get the effort to want to check out another one.
But every single one of them tends to have slightly different movement or its own little thing to it.
It's very physical.
Yeah,
one.
this one is basically the if all of them make you sweat, this one turns you into a puddle.
Right. This is your hardest.
That's what I'm going to say. It's that damn fast.
It's your toughest one.
I think it's really, really fast.
Oh, we've got a donation for January. He said, I hope the Salsa clip is still active. If it is, then this goes out to 40 did an animation day. Yeah, so we've got a special Salsa animation made today by 40 Games. Here we go. So, German Rifter, €10. Congratulations on the 44th show. Loved every single one. Cue Salsa clip. You don't know how happy this makes me.
Head moves around.
See, if you feel like making your own salsa clip, let me know, and we'll get it on the channel. You know, whatever you want to do, while you're scoring a goal or something. It doesn't have to be animated. It can be yourself. Whatever you want to do. So yeah, it seems to be. Thank you to 40 Muppet for doing that, man. That was
wicked.
Yeah, when he sent me that today, I was like, that is so brilliant. So yeah, let me know if you want the 41.
That is just so cool.
Oh, Dave Station, he's actually brought up a point. It's part of the reason that Audio Trip is a bit of a nightmare for anyone trying to make content on it. It's actually got a lot of licensed songs in there. Again, like as he's just saying, Lady Gaga and a few others. He put, I was surprised they managed to get the licenses for stuff like Lady Gaga. There's Lady Gaga in there. There is a few songs I don't think that aren't, I think, but I think at least half or more are licensed songs.
I think it's one of the first games I played that has more recognizable music than any of the other ones.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So if you're a content maker, it's one of those ones where you're definitely going to be demonetized without a doubt for checking that out. You know, so, but it is good. I do remember really enjoying it, but it's another one of those games that for some reason I didn't think about going back to.
I can't remember how many songs are on it. So I played it the other day on the Quest, and it. The closest thing I'd call it to is Synth Riders, whereas you kind of got that mode. Obviously, Synth Riders got the force mode where you have to punch or whatever, but generally most people play it where you just kind of hold your things or move them into place. It's pretty much that, most of it, and it's got some other things where you have to like hit objects in a certain direction, but mainly it's that. And it is got a lot more movement than Synth Riders does. So you're going to be ducking, going to be swaying. It is literally trying to make you dance. And that's kind of the whole purpose of how they've tuned these songs and stuff. And you can, I think, manually choreograph your own map in the game to a song that's already in there.
Right.
I haven't checked that bit out, but yeah, I'd say it was pretty intense. One of the songs I tried on Max Expert, because I've got to jump into the highest difficulty. I went to the highest one. It killed me straight away. I was like, Jesus, this is fast. Then I went to another song and it wasn't too bad. I managed to do that one okay. But I don't know. I'd say it is pretty intense if you want to play in the highest difficulty. I'm not sure about some of the lower ones. I think they were pretty much okay, in line with like Beat Saber and Synth Riders and stuff. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, I'm not sure. I need to still obviously play a bit more and do something on it, but I'm not sure if it's one I'm going to keep coming back to. I'm not sure if that's my thing. I think people that are really, they like their dancing and they want to get more into, I suppose, more rhythm, if that makes sense, body rhythm, than actually
like I said,
rhythm.
All these different games have slightly a different movement that they create to your body, depending on how they rig the physics. And Synth Riders and is again the same sort of deal as this one. They're very close. You got mixes on the different side there.
Yeah, for sure. So if anyone noticed, on the tag on the way in is Oculus Quest Nano. Just literally, that was my thing, and I've said that on the show so many times. That is the name I would give the next Oculus Quest. And the reason we're talking about this is because Facebook Inc.'s Oculus division is building a new version of its Quest standalone virtual reality headset, but the device is facing potential delays due to the impact of COVID-19 on product development and the global supply chain. The social network giant is working on multiple potential successors to the Quest. Some models in advanced testing are smaller, lighter, and have a faster image refresh rate for more realistic content. These headsets also have redesigned controllers, which I'm a little bit. There's a couple of things here I'm happy and not too happy about. The company hasn't finalised which new version of the Quest it will release, obviously, and the final product may have different features. Facebook originally planned to launch the new model at the end of 2020, and I was like, "Wow,
I'd be surprised if it's out within a year.
Oh no! So
of the first one coming out.
So it goes on basically around. So yeah, the end of 2020, around its annual Oculus Connect conference. But the coronavirus pandemic could delay the headset from shipping until 2021. So before we go into like the tech, that to be fair, there's a lot of stuff that we'd all want anyway. I was just shocked when I read that because some people are still waiting to get the Quest now. Like, they haven't got the first one. It's not like everyone's got the first one. Right, let's do a second, version 2. Probably might be the same processor. I don't know. Probably not. Probably everything's going to be revamped again. What do you do? Like, how do you feel about that? Regardless of the name. We can talk about the names later. But
I just don't see. Are they working on a new Quest? Of course they are.
Yeah.
It's like saying, when Sony released the PS4, are they working on the PS5? Most probably within a few months of PS4 coming out, they were working on the PS5. It's just a case of when does it come out? I mean, the refresh for the Oculus Rift S made perfect sense because Oculus had made a decision. We're going with inside-out tracking. We're not going to use lighthouses or anything like that.
Yeah.
So it made sense for them to bring out a new Oculus Rift S. But like new controllers, there isn't really any need for new controllers at the moment. I think when the replacement for the Oculus, likelihood is they're going to bring out the replacement for the Oculus Rift S and the Oculus Quest at the same time, I reckon, because they kind of look at it as two different customer bases that they've got there. And then, you'll most probably get new controllers that will most probably incorporate some sort of finger tracking. Inside out just makes perfect sense because, again, it's a cost-effective solution.
And it
also
works well.
it also allows more people to play VR because, as you guys were saying earlier on, the actual size of a room is a major issue. Well, that's diminished quite considerably with inside-out tracking. You don't need to sort of like, I've got to have a lighthouse here, and one behind me or whatever. So, are they working on it? Yes. Is most of the stuff that they said about most probably going to be on the new headset? Yes. Is it going to be coming out 2020? No. I don't think it was ever going to come out 2020 because if you're still selling tons of the Oculus Quest originals, why do you need to bring out a replacement?
Yeah.
Again, the Oculus Rift had kind of started to slow down, and then they you knew a new one was coming because it was suddenly you couldn't get an Oculus Rift original anywhere. So, if you can't find an Oculus Quest in 6 months' time for love nor money, then I was wrong, and it will be coming out.
I kind of have the opinion that maybe I would look at things as being revisionary, where if they've seen bits where they can streamline costs and also bring something else new to the table, just in miniaturization, reducing weight is a key aspect for the Quest, for damn sure. And a part of that could be miniaturization, bringing that in closer to the face as well. For any bits like that, if they can get away with doing stuff like that, weight reduction and that, but keep the same everything else, then a midpoint release I would see as a more likely thing myself.
I think it's too soon. I really do. I think the whole thing's too soon. Like when I read all this stuff in the beginning, I didn't want to make a news video about it or anything because I was just like, at the end of every sentence it says person, people. There's no backup to it, and it's just like I think we've had in this show the exact like discussions of all the things they're upgrading. We'd all want it to be lighter. We'd all want more back. All the things that are obvious. So if you've got a Quest that, the Quest is brilliant, but we are hoping for the next version for this stuff. So it goes on to say the versions in testing are 10 to 15% smaller than the current Quest. So that's not necessarily being lighter. That's just smaller in model. And then in addition to that, they are lighter. The existing model weighs 1.25 pounds, which they're saying is too heavy for some people over extended periods. And I'm sure I read somewhere they were saying it might be £1 the next one or something. I don't know, something like that. The updated refresh rate for the new Quest VR headset is at least 90 Hz, up from the current models 60 Hz for movies and 72 Hz for VR tasks, making video and games appear smoother. The company is testing Quests with screens capable of displaying up to 120 Hz, but the company could cap this at 90 Hz to preserve battery life. We already know that the current Quest can do 90 Hz. So, it's just... So Dave says, it seems like it would be more like a PS4 Pro instead of a PS4. I was going to say as well, Dane, when you mentioned the low-resolution textures on Saints and Sinners, you're on an original PS4, aren't you? The OG.
Correct, yes.
Yeah, I'll be like a lot of people when they come on the stream. Well, the first thing was, "Where's the Quest version?" And the second was, "Are you playing on a Pro?" And I was just like, "I haven't. I'd like to see a side by side comparison to see what's going on there, because a lot of people still want to know, should I upgrade to a Pro?" Personally, I would always say yeah, because I remember the change I saw in Super Hot, especially. It like doubled the sharpness. It looked so much better on a Pro.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I'm still sort of like, PS5 soon. So I'm like, you may want to hold off.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah. So obviously we've got the 90 Hertz, hopefully extended battery life. Some models of the new headset in testing also continue to have a physical switch for adjusting the IPD. That's one thing that everyone wants now. They don't want the software side of IPD, even though I think it works great personally. But there's a large number of people who just want to be catered for. They don't want to mess around. They've got either their eyes are very close together or further away than what Oculus have stated is a standard, I guess.
The sweet spot is a better thing there. But if you have not got that physical IPD, you need the lenses to be designed to have a bigger sweet spot.
Yeah, that's right. At the end of the day, if you're trying to reach as many people as possible, more options the better. Facebook is always working on redesigned controllers that are more comfortable and fixes a problem with the existing controller, which has the battery cover that sometimes slides off. The new controller will be compatible with your current Quest, people have said. So that's interesting. So you will be able to get the new controllers if you've got the current Quest. It sounds like as well, they'll probably put certain places out of business, like Mammoth and other things. They're trying to tackle the main things that you sort of stand up and say, this is why you buy this, is to stop this sliding off. It's to improve the comfort.
I'm still sort of like seeing it as a revision. I think they're doing it as a revision because whenever you go through a manufacturing cycle, they find ways to improve the manufacturer to bring down their own in-house costs, as well as miniaturize it, lighten it, and increase the volume that they can output. And those are the things that I think they're going to be looking at. They're going to be looking at, can we make this cheaper? Can we make them faster? Can we improve them at the same time? If the answer to all of those is yes, then that's where I think it's actually coming from, not from a full upgrade. That's my personal opinion.
I can definitely see a sort of like a mid-generation upgrade to improve things like comfort, and the weight thing really isn't the problem. With the weight is it's all front heavy. Let's put it this way: you kind of know that Oculus aren't a hardware maker, because as soon as somebody put the Oculus Quest on at Oculus, the one thing they should have picked up on is, you know what, this really isn't comfortable wearing. It's very front heavy, and they should have been looking at some way to negate or to spread the weight across the rest
Well,
of the head.
they did look at it being in the back at first, but then they thought, this might complicate, and we could end up with a situation like the audio on the CV1 where you get disconnects from complicated power hookup somewhere internally inside the band, and they wanted to keep a clean look, so the battery ended up internalized.
Yeah.
Oh no,
to the front.
I get it that it's at the front, but as I say, there is ways of, you know, in some ways adding extra weight around the headset. I mean,
Yeah.
let's put it this way: all of us got into PlayStation VR at the beginning, and the one thing that came out of PlayStation VR is, Jesus Christ, is this headset comfortable?
Yeah.
You know, for an extended period, and it comes down to the thing that Sony have always done hardware. So, you know, when you put the thing on, you were like, damn, you know, this is a really, you know, enjoyable to wear headset. Even people that had HTC Vives and Oculus Rift, and they tried PlayStation VR, you know, they had complaints about certain things on PlayStation VR. The one thing they didn't have a complaint about was the weight and the weight distribution that the headset actually has. So, you know,
making it smaller and lighter
They can
would
get better.
still help with that, because it would be pulling in, and any weight taken off of that is a weight off your cheekbones.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing. It doesn't help the balance point, which is what you're really talking about. At the other side is the balance point.
Does that mean
which is
Lenovo
really important.
are designing the next Quest then, do you think? Because they've done the Rift S, and they're the ones who've got the patent. I don't know if they still got it.
yeah, they
or
brought
not.
it off PlayStation,
Yeah.
didn't they? So it's going to be really interesting, actually, because Sony must have something really interesting up their sleeve to sell the patent, because the PlayStation VR, or PlayStation VR 2, I should say, is going to look nothing like PlayStation VR. Because it can't, because if it did, you would retain the patent. To make money off the patent, you would sell your patent, you know, or you would lease your patent so Oculus could have made it. They sold it wholesale to Lenovo. You know, so
we're done with that. We've got something better coming along.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can have that model.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, you take it, because, you know, when PlayStation VR 2 comes out, we're going to innovate again.
Yeah.
Be
So
interesting.
yeah, what was the next bit? The headsets in testing have 4 external cameras versus 5 on the Rift S, and 6 degrees of freedom, which is users, blah, blah, blah. We know all that. The new model also support the Oculus Link. That is obvious, because you're seeing a massive rise of people who are using the Quest, but now interested in PC VR and buying a PC for that reason, because they see people playing games, you know, even in their friends'
or
lists.
realizing that their PC is actually capable of playing a VR game.
Yeah.
Where they thought, it wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're saying, man. I know what you're saying. Where is another thing I wanted to bring up about the Rift S? I don't know if I've got it here. Where is it? Maybe I've lost it. God damn it.
You lost it.
Hold on. I've put all formats. There was a I've lost the words. Hold on. A hinge brought out for the Rift S. This guy has designed, Superhot developer. He's made a hinge system, which he's basically said it's really only for developers. But dude, I would love it, because I need to flip the bloody thing so often. It would be a lifesaver. So, but unfortunately, it looks like you can only get it like if you got a 3D printer and you pay for like the instructions, you download it and then you print it yourself with the materials. And I think you maybe donate $2 or something, but obviously you can donate more if you want to. So, yeah, and I thought that was really cool. Unfortunately, I did have like a little movie or a picture going on about it, but what I will do is leave a link to his Twitter if you see this video and you want to jump over to him. His name's Mark Schramm, and yeah, I think it's really exciting, something like that. I hope that was the thing that I really wanted the Cosmos for, because I thought that was a brilliant idea. I was like, wicked, dude, like press the button, flip up the lid, I can do my stuff, but it doesn't actually go up that high. It sort of like still sits around your eye level, comes down the sides, so it's kind of not that great. But this looks very good, and yeah, it's one of those cool things. So the other thing we can talk about quickly. Let's do some news. Let's do the news. Let's do the news. Let's do. Hell yeah, I managed to get it in there. I always forget about the jingle, dude. I could just keep talking for ages. Oh, it's Boomf. How you doing? Hello, Void Cat, Boy Brown.
Boomf.
It's Boomf. Yeah, so PSVR news, PSVR's face tracking. So this was brought up by Upload. And I don't know where they found it, but basically they said there's US patent granted to Sony that reveals a research on VR face tracking technology. Have you guys seen this? Have you read it at all?
I've seen the thing and the pattern. I understand the pattern. Do I think it's going to be used? No, because honestly, I don't see a benefit or a major benefit to it in a VR situation. But I understand why Sony and their technobods, sort of like developed it. It's like, okay, well, we can do this and stuff. But you look at the face tracking and you compare that to something like eye tracking. Eye tracking seems to me to be really, really useful, especially in a VR situation. Face tracking doesn't really seem all that useful to me in that sense.
It's one of the areas that Facebook has actually gone furthest on as well. I mean, the eye tracking, I have to say, I think is more useful overall. But then you have the social spaces of VR and VR conferencing and other person-to-person interaction. And that's where the face tracking comes in, because you read a lot from a person's face.
Exactly, man. No emojis. That's why emojis are
interest, or you need the expression of what you're doing as you shout out goal.
There you go.
You're not going to be able to do that without the face tracking.
So let me just read through this. It says it's titled... So yeah, a US patent granted for Sony reveals research on VR face tracking, a vital technology for the future of multiplayer and social VR, for the reasons that South was just saying and stuff, titled Integration of Tracked Facial Features for VR used in virtual reality environments. The patent describes the use of one or more cameras on the underside or nose gap of the headset to capture the user's mouth and facial expressions in real time. The video you're seeing in the middle of all of us now is what Sales was also referring to, is the Facebook face tracking they were doing. And I actually think it looks really cool. This track data will be, because at the end of the day, you might go into a game, and this is how I see it going, you might go into a game with an avatar's face, but it would have the same expressions as your face.
Give you your expressions.
Yeah.
I mean, there'd been a lot of work done. Well, you can just see this part. I mean, there's a lot of other, which is kind of freaky. It really is quite freaky how that works.
Yeah, the track.
Could you imagine a game that you play and the NPCs react to how your facial expression works?
Well, they tried to do it as well with
brain-melting that would be.
What do you call it? Werewolves.
Oh, did they?
With werewolves, they didn't obviously have the tracking, but they tried to take the tone of your voice and tune the expressions and your because unless you was on the PC side, you didn't actually have hand tracking. So they would actually try and do all the hand gestures and your facial gestures based off of how the sound of your voice sounded. So if you sounded angry, it would do the anger things. If you sounded excited, it would be like, yay, going for the jazz hands.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever else.
But there's that minutia to facial expressions, like you're saying, and body language and stuff like that. So I think I agree. I think in games, it's not as big of a thing. But for social aspects, it's massive.
And that's where it's going.
And social things are becoming bigger and bigger, aren't
VR
they?
chat, Rec Room,
VR
all that
chat,
stuff,
Rec Room, all that. Yeah, absolutely. They're really huge. They've always got like tons of people in them.
Yeah, I mean the need for I'm sure at this time in particular, the need for human contact is a really big issue. And this is one of those other areas. I mean, if you go into a game and say the character animation is crap, then you don't interact with the NPCs or stuff like that. If you go into a game that has really good character animation, then you find yourself talking even to NPCs and going, yeah.
That's exactly what BMF just said. He said he wants an AI with NPCs that you can talk with, and they respond. Yeah.
That was one of the things when I saw about the impatient. Yeah, because I had it on the Impatient. I've not played that myself, and that was one of the things I thought, that's amazing. You get to talk to the people in the game and they respond. Obviously, that's scripted, so you can basically read out the words like an auto cue.
Yeah.
But that idea of it really, really appealed to me. And I think other games that use your mic so that the sound comes through into the game and it affects the characters in game, like I think Stifled did it, where you can actually shout and it echoes and it actually because you have to use like echolocation to move around.
Yeah.
Using the microphone in the games is like really underutilized, and it would be amazing.
That's another side to it. But even just the quality of animation and expression is what I'm going on. If you look at something like Rigs, the character animation when you're sitting on the plane after you've won a game, it expresses what's happened. They either come in slumped up and go,
yeah, that's right.
God,
yeah,
we lost.
yeah.
And you're like, yeah, it could happen to anybody, guys. Or they come in and they're like, yes, we did it. And you'd be like, yes. I'm not going to do that.
So yeah, so the track data will be represented on a virtual avatar shown to other online users in multiplayer games, which is exactly what we're saying. Imagine seeing your friend gasp, smile, laugh, or shouting "goal!" But Boy Brown said earlier, he doesn't think the tracking can do that. It's not ready for you, Salsa. You know what I mean? It won't be able to track it. As with a previous, go on.
You saying I'm too much for the tracking to take?
Yes, mate. They haven't tested it on you. You know they're gonna see this. They're gonna
so
come.
we
to
need
you.
Oculus we need Oculus or Sony to get in touch.
Yeah, I can just see him, man. Like seeing you do that. It's gonna fail. And they're just gonna go. It's done. He's ruined it. We can't do it.
We've missed the point. We've lost it. We've all lost it. Mind's blown.
As with previous Sony patents, the headset also contains eye tracking. So that your gaze is represented. The patent describes a few interesting techniques to deal with the occlusion issues, the camera not being able to see the whole face. A flex sensor pressing against the user's face is proposed, as well as a way to sense exact position of the nose flap so that it isn't detected as part of the user's face. So there's a lot going into it. You know what I mean? And like when you see that particular video on now, I think it looks absolutely fantastic. Do you know what I mean? I'm quite happy to have my face in VR, but I can see why some people maybe don't, or they want to be someone else. Do you know what I mean? It's part of...
Yeah, but this could map your facial expressions onto whatever avatar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you could when like RoboCop takes his face off and he's thing. I always thought that's quite scary when I was younger. VR Basement, how you doing, man? Alex DeFrost, any thoughts on Facebook Horizon? I can't wait for it, but I've heard nothing about the beta for a very
that's
long
most
time.
probably been delayed quite a bit because of what's
The-
happening in the world.
virus.
To be honest, I think everything's kind of had to take a back seat, and especially something like Facebook Horizon, because if you look at what Facebook Horizon was, that was really, really ambitious. For what they were planning. And I know people have sort of said about VR chat and stuff like that, but in some ways I think Facebook Horizon might even be more ambitious than what VR chat and stuff is. Definitely got a lot more money behind it, and especially since they've actually called it Facebook Horizon rather than Oculus Horizon. We kind of know that they definitely want to get Granny involved in that. So, well, they do. Let's be honest. They want to get everybody involved. I mean,
They do, yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg was quite open at the Oculus thing, saying, our goal is to have a
1 billion.
1 billion people.
That's Facebook's goal, is to have 1 billion people in VR.
1 billion people. A bit of news as well.
Yes.
Gorn, carrying on with PSVR's incredible goings on this week. Gorn is coming to PSVR May 15th. So yeah, 5 days away. You can get your hands on Gorn, break your fists on your surroundings. It is a good game.
It's fun, but
it's fun. Yeah,
I don't think. Let's try. Look, it's not a Walking Dead Saints and Sinners where it's like an oh my god moment. Gorn is more, hey, this is really fun, and as long as you take it as that. Like when all I've been hearing about is Gorn. So it's actually one
Have
of
you
the
been
first
watching
games
Polish Paul?
Yes, I had been listening to Polish Paul some of the time.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, I'm not listening anymore. But no, like I say, so actually Gorn was one of the first games I brought on PC VR because it was on sale, and I tried it, and it was like for the first like 15 to 25 minutes, I was having a lot of fun, and then after a while, I was just like, this is going to be the same thing over and over again, and I was expecting a lot more of it. So you know, I know I'm always seen as Debbie Downer here, but temper your Debbie Downer. You know, somebody who's always depressed. Yes, Debbie Downer. And you ever the expression Debbie Downer?
No,
I've heard it now. Don't worry, I'm with you.
But yeah, temper your expectations for what Gorn is,
I don't know Debbie.
And I think you're going to have a lot of fun with Gorn, but it's not. Yeah, it's not a Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. Actually, going back to that, I just want to say that, to be honest, if PC VR hadn't have had Half-Life Alyx come out, everybody would have been talking about Walking Dead Saints and Sinners up until this point, because it was that good a game. The problem that you've had on PC VR is that one of the greatest VR games ever made came out, you know, less than 2 months later.
I think that happened to Stormlands. I think the hype was gone from Stormlands very quickly.
Oh yeah,
very quickly.
A lot of games have done, but you know, I was really glad to see it turn up on PlayStation VR. To be honest, I was more glad that it's a good port, because that's the one thing you're kind of worried about. It's like, no, you can get the game on there. I mean, you know, you can get pretty much any game you want. I mean, if you could want to get Stormland on PlayStation VR, I'm sure it's possible. It ain't going to be a good game to play. But I was really glad to hear that, as I say, Walking Dead Saints and Sinners is a really, really good port.
Yeah, so as in case you missed it, Gorn is now coming to PSVR May 15th. I will get it on the channel. I'm sure these guys will play it, hopefully, if it comes out. But yeah, I'm actually looking forward to revisiting Gorn a bit, because maybe there is some depth to it that I missed. I don't know.
I don't think there is.
No,
well, that's the people that are hyped for it.
But then it's all about the price, then, isn't it? Because if that's the case, it shouldn't be an expensive game. I mean, what would you price it? It's a brand new game. You know, PlayStation. There's a little bit of markup. What would you put the price of Gorn? What would you expect to pay?
I think it's going to be £20. I think on PC it's $15.99. I would expect it to be about £20.
I think it will be.
It shouldn't be that price. The thing about Gorn, the thing that's really fun about that is when you split heads open and the blood and the gore and the stuff. So and it's very cartoonish, you know. So you
don't feel bad doing it. Yeah.
No, exactly. But I've got a feeling it's going to be around about the. It'll either be the same price as the PC one, which is $15.99. I'm sure it's $15.99. Or
it's been on sale though, dude, isn't it? Loads.
Oh, it's been. Yeah, I got it for
cheap.
$7.49, I think. Off Steam. But yeah, you know, I'm glad. Look, having more games on PlayStation VR is only a good thing, because it keeps people wanting to stay in that PlayStation VR.
Or buying them brand new, because at the end of the day, they're readily available. People might try and get another headset at the moment and have a PlayStation at home and then go, PSVR, do you know what I mean? And they can see the fact. That's why I think Walking Dead is such a big thing. You know, I think at the end of the day, that is now hitting tags. PlayStation VR and Walking Dead Saints and Sinners are now a tag. So people are looking for it, and they're going to watch it, and they're going to find it. There's still people on my video come along and go, I didn't know this was out. Because maybe they don't watch news channels, or maybe they don't look at Upload or whatever else, which means they're probably brand new. Potentially, they're brand new, and they know the brand Walking Dead. You know what I mean? So it's a big deal. It's a big deal. Dane, you mentioned budget cuts has now been delayed.
Yeah, that just got a slight delay. I can't remember what its original date was, but I think it's now. I don't know if it's June or July. I can't remember.
It's July 10th is what I've got written.
It probably is that then.
Right.
Because it's coming to PSVR. No news on when the second one's coming across, because they both are. So Budget Cuts 1 and 2 are both going to be in PSVR at some point. This is just the first one.
I haven't heard anything about Budget Cuts 2 coming to PlayStation VR. I definitely knew the first one was
coming. They said it's coming to PlayStation VR at some point, but
really, that's cool.
Yep. Yeah, at some point.
Yeah, I didn't know that. JD Mates brought up a point that maybe we should discuss. He said maybe it's just me, but I'm not a big fan. And I know I've seen this in the chat from other people. I'm not a big fan of Facebook deving a program that tracks where I'm looking. I see how it would be fun for VR, but let's be honest, it's Facebook we're talking about here. I don't know. I mean, it's not like they're only looking at what you're already putting in your head, aren't you? You're already choosing a program that's going to use the eye tracking. So
Yeah, what he's more in particular saying is that for analysis of what you personally do or
wouldn't that
look
be more
at
like an AR
for
thing, though?
well, it's about advertising where and your personal interest on different things, so that you can build up a lot more.
Yeah, a profile
sort
of
of
someone, what
data.
they're interested
Yeah.
in. So you're
Yeah,
saying like you
profiling.
go into VR chat, for example, like the virtual market,
Mhm.
and in there is a load of signs advertising certain clothing, certain brands, and
It would
I am
then,
more attracted at certain other things.
Yeah, people are sort of like going, well, they're attracted to this, and this, and a lot of people are worried about their data being sold on them, and then people being super effective at advertising to them and things like this, and they can profile and target them for this, that, or the other, and it's all a little bit paranoid-y, really.
I've got no doubt that would
Um,
happen, though.
Oh yeah.
Oh
it'll
yeah,
happen.
it can. Totally. But the other side of me is like that happens already on everything that I say, to everything that I look at, to everything that I buy. Do I, do I want a load of adverts that aren't targeted to me and show me a load of rubbish that I have absolutely no interest in?
Yeah, but
No,
I think
not really.
what you'll find is there won't be any advertising actually on Facebook Horizon. I don't think there'll be any like advertising on there. But because it's being linked to your Facebook account, like you have to have a Facebook account to use Facebook Horizon. You'll have Facebook Horizon, and there most probably be subtle things in there. But God help you when you go back to your Facebook account, because literally you're just going to get plastered.
Yeah.
So
But it's a mix of things there. But it's also another thing that a lot of people somehow feel that they're going to target all of the intentions of what a person is about from the data they gain through this.
So
I don't think that's so much of a case. But there are a lot of people that are worried that somehow they are going to be intrinsically belittled by people knowing that this is what they look at, that is what they look at when they pay attention this way, that
no,
way,
I
or the
don't.
other.
I don't see
get
it that
the
way. And to be honest, we've already
behavioural
given up.
habits.
Everybody
Oh,
here,
I
everybody
do
on
get
this
it.
channel, everybody viewing this, everybody watching this video, we've all given up our privacy. We haven't
Yeah,
even
I
thought.
get it.
Absolutely.
We haven't
I-
even thought twice about it.
No.
We've given up our privacy to YouTube, to Twitter,
Yep.
to everybody.
Yep.
We've got no privacy anymore. The only way
Yeah.
you've got any privacy is when I become a hermit. So I haven't got to worry about my hair and my beard anymore, and I go and live in the bloody wilds of Scotland.
Yeah, we
And I
go.
don't have
We go
anything.
visit you. We go visit your cave, basically.
Exactly. Then I ain't got to worry about privacy because I'll just be shitting in the woods like a bear. But apart from that, be fine.
yeah, I
But
mean,
yeah, no, I totally get it, and I have no problem with it myself as well.
I
But
just want to
there
say,
you go.
Monkified, yeah, he said, I don't mind ads being relevant to what I've been looking for. I like it. And funny enough, before we started the show, I said to you guys, whenever I watch a video lately on anything random, there's like on YouTube, considering it's a gaming content video, there's like dating apps. And I'm like, it doesn't matter whose channel I go on, there's dating apps. How's that relevant to me at all? One, because I'm married. Yeah, I mean, well, it's just not. I don't get it, you know. So
Have you been as people in your household during this lockdown been watching the dating games that's on TV?
I didn't know there was any. I remember that one with Cilla Black. What was that?
I think there's
Blind
some. I think there's some form of dating game that goes on TV at some
Yeah,
point. I
these
don't know what it
tropical
is.
island things and stuff
Oh,
where they put
yeah.
a load of people in
All
jump
of that
bars.
stuff. Maybe you've been around that and not realised it, and your phone has picked up on the fact there's a load of dating going on in the
But
background.
what about though if you always skip it? Like, what's the point? Like, surely if it's
Well,
what I'm trying to say
you've
is,
skipped it, but it's heard it in the background. Gone. Well, there most probably is some interest there.
I can honestly say, South, that isn't the case.
No.
Well, okay.
I've had
I
it
really don't
exactly
think
the
that's the
same as
case.
GT. Like, I don't even watch live TV. I got rid of my TV license because I never bother watching it. I always watch like Netflix or whatever, or YouTube.
Yeah.
But the only stuff I watch is gaming related. But the adverts I see are miles and miles and miles away from gaming. I've I can't remember the last time I saw any kind of gaming or entertainment or movie or anything like that advertised on a
Final
video on
Fantasy
YouTube.
was the latest. It was either the Oculus Quest Star
That was
Wars,
a lot, actually.
and
Yeah,
that seemed to hit at the same time it was announced for PSVR. That
Yep.
was a bit weird. And then Final
got
Fantasy
pushed
7.
on everything. To be fair, yeah.
That was
Final Fantasy
it.
7, I did see pushed on everything.
Yeah.
But other than that, nothing. So I don't think YouTube is that in tune with pushing content that you really are interested in. They just want to push whatever content they want to push.
That's what I'm saying.
Things
If you're
like
watching,
Facebook has more.
Sometimes
behind
it's
it.
sometimes there's more to the algorithms than that. There is just some people that say, look, if we're looking at anybody's searching for these keywords, here's our money to capture these keywords, that keywords, or we need to, here's someone who's put a big spend out who wants to get in front of anybody regardless.
Well, let's just put it this
Um,
way: never seen any advertisements for anything Arnie related. So they're doing a rubbish job with it. Mate.
They are doing a rubbish job.
You look
for
at my search history, and they haven't gone anywhere close.
okay, so Vader Immortal, the Star Wars in one complete package. You're going to get all 3 episodes. Is coming to PSVR this summer. What does that? I mean,
Yeah.
that's amazing. I think that is
I was
absolutely
shocked.
incredible. When I saw it,
I
I
was
was like,
Yeah.
News.
yeah, that is.
I was like,
amazing.
that's come from left field. I thought that was exclusive. I didn't realize it was timed exclusive.
I don't
Yeah.
think it was. I think they've just changed their
No,
mind.
it had
It
to
must
have
have
been. It had to have been a timed exclusive. It's most probably what I could, but Oculus and who's it? ILM X Lab
Labs,
who's,
yeah.
who's
Yeah, that's the
doing
one,
the development. They most probably just kept it really quiet. I mean, it made perfect sense because you're trying to sell an Oculus Quest at the time. I mean,
Yeah.
if you remember when it came, they didn't really push that it was coming to Oculus Rift at all. Even though it was, and it was
No, it was all
crossbuy and everything
Quest,
like
yeah.
that, it was all about the Quest.
They even had different
Yeah.
release dates, didn't they? I think the Quest.
Yeah,
came
they
the
did.
first.
Quest. I think except for the third episode. The third episode, I think, was day and date. But I think, yeah, you're right. Both episode 1 and episode 2 were ahead on the Quest.
On
and
Quest,
when
yeah.
when episode 3 came, yeah, it was just day and date on both of them. But listen, again, it's a fantastic release for PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
Dane, before the show started, said that the Move controller, feels like a lightsaber,
Lightsaber,
more than
perfect.
the touch controller, which is very true.
Mhm.
Which is why I think Beat Saber's better on PSVR, purely for
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
reason.
And to be honest, PlayStation VR now has a couple of great Star Wars games because it's going to have Vader Immortal, and it's got the Battlefront X-Wing Rogue One mission, which even though it's only 15 minutes, is still absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And if you ever wanted to fly in an X-Wing, that's the closest you're ever going to get to it.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Next up on the news, Pixel Ripped 995. I don't think someone can confirm this for me. It's coming to US PlayStation Store on May the 12th for $20, and it'll also come to Europe the following week on May 19th. They're the two
I've
dates.
heard that, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool because on one hand I saw that it was the same date, and then on the other hand I saw it was different dates. Yeah, Pixel Ripped 995. Did everyone check it out here? I'm assuming that I think they did.
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
Very, very good. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, we
stuff.
talked about it last week.
Everything is more colourful than the 90s.
Yes,
which I
it
should
was.
get on the t-shirt soon.
It was a bit neon and stuff. So yeah, we got a Mini Motor Racing X on the Oculus Quest. That is coming out on May the 14th. Not long. A lot of people are enjoying the whatever bloody ball it's called now. It looks like
Bumper
Rocket
ball.
League. Bumper ball. Yeah, and I personally I think there's a lot of gameplay there. There's like another version as well called like Micro. So the cars are smaller, the tracks are the same size, but it actually plays a bit better that way, I think. I'd like the whole campaign that way, personally, where the cars are a bit smaller, because in the way the tracks can feel too intense.
They feel very
Yeah, they're
tiny,
very squished.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like there's an S-bend, and there, like sometimes there's like a double S-bend, and you're going up a hill, and you're like trying to be in first person, and in normal mode, it is just constantly like, Jesus, you're trying to get around all these things, and it can just feel very intense. Some people might really like that. Personally, I prefer the micro side of it for that. But yeah, what did you guys think of the game? I know we'll have a quick run over it again quickly? Nat, if you want to run over it.
Well, like I say, I haven't got a problem with the game itself. It's a very, very good game. Like I said, I'm just not in a multiplayer vein at the moment. I haven't been for a little while. It's bright, it's colourful, it's sharp. Again, really good game to have on the
It's very
Oculus
sharp.
Quest.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I say, I was just very bored of it very, very quickly. And like I say, that's nothing against the game, nothing against the developer or anything like that. Any multiplayer game that I'm going to be playing at the moment, I'm going to get bored very, very quickly with. So
Yeah, it's cool. You're saying it's just not your game. That's
no, it's
fine,
just not.
isn't it?
It's just not for me.
Was you a fan
do-
of Micro Machines though back in the day?
Oh, I loved Micro Machines back in the day.
So, funny enough, when I was playing the other day, the one thing that, I mean, you can always go, this is Micro Machines in VR. The only reason I haven't done that is because what made Micro Machines special was the fact it was in a garden, in a bathtub, in a kitchen.
On a
at
snooker
school.
table.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It made you feel like those toys were the actual toys. I know this isn't Micro Machines. Yeah, I know that. It's not called that. But I think if you did that, why can't they do that?
Well, they can do it as DLC.
But would
so-
you play it then?
No, at the moment.
Right.
Like I say, at some point I will get back into multiplayer because I always go in these fits and starts where it's just like, let's put it this way, the only type of multiplayer that I would most probably be interested in playing at the moment, or that I would even give it time of day, would be co-op. But again, that's a single player thing to play co-op in. I'm still experiencing a story and things. That's all I really want to play at the moment, is stories and stuff like that. So like I say, it doesn't matter what the game is. I mean, the only reason I'm still playing Pistol Whip is because it's a single player game, and I have fun with it as a single player thing. If it was predominantly a multiplayer game, I'd most probably put Pistol Whip to one side as well.
Yeah.
But so for me at the moment, it's like, I'm willing to play me single player, let the multiplayers go out, and if I get back into them, I will. At the moment, Boy Brown's asking me, what about The Last of Us 2 multiplayer when that drops? As far as I'm aware, the multiplayer for that's going to drop a few months after the actual game. So again, like I say, if Last of Us 2 multiplayer came out, wouldn't play it. Not at the moment. Not interested in it.
There you go.
But, and I love The Last of Us. So
Yeah, I can't wait for that. And you guys obviously got to check it out all together. We all checked it out and with other people. What do you think of it? Is it a buy? Is it a bit of a pass? Is it a bit of a wait for a sale? I mean, where are you putting this game?
To be honest, I really, really like it. When it came, I played it on the PSVR, and when that came out, I know a lot of people was like dismissed it quite quickly as well. But I really enjoyed it. I think they've improved it since then. Since they first launched it, and I played on PSVR, it was a little bit slow at first.
Yeah,
it was a bit like, because it's slow and because it's so really short track, there wasn't much going on for it. But they've improved that. It's quite fast paced, like you said. It can be intense as you're going around, and especially when you're playing first person. And I just think it's really, really fun. It's really easy to pick up, play, and put down. Like however much time you want to spend in it. Like personally, I picked it up and I was like, I'm gonna play a bit, obviously, like for the channel and all that sort of stuff. But I was like, I'm not spending hours in it. I was just like, I'm really enjoying this, going around the track because they get harder. The AI computer gets harder as well as you're racing against them. And then you have to upgrade your car to keep in track with them. Then you unlock a new car and you're like, oh, I want to upgrade that as well. And the variation of the tracks is quite fun as well. It looks amazing. So I played loads of it single player. I played it co-op as well, which is really good. And the co-op is good because it is a true co-op in the sense that as long as one of you wins, you both reap the rewards of that. So you get stars to unlock certain things, more tracks as well, and unlock get money to buy your upgrades and stuff. So even if you're absolutely pants, as long as you play with someone that's good on co-op, you can play through the entire, I call it campaign, but it's just a load of sequence of tracks basically.
Yeah.
They can unlock all of it for you. And Bumperball as well. It's a side like added on thing, but it's amazing. It's so much fun. Again, it's really simple, easy to pick up and play. No one's going to get confused playing this game. It's really basic, but it's fun. That's my view on it.
And Gamertag has cheating AI.
He's got what? Cheating AI?
Yeah, his AI was too good.
My AI was too good. Do you mean they're too
Yeah,
hard to beat?
when we was playing against you, I just felt the AI. You see Gamertag sitting back in the distance watching his AI player do it.
Oh,
all.
on Bumper Ball, yeah, I
Bumper Ball.
was, yeah. It was him and Jimith against my AI character, and he was kicking, the AI was kicking their asses. So I was like,
Yeah.
I just
Well,
sat
that's
there.
kind of true to life because when me and you, GT, were on it, we pretty much destroyed Zim and Jim, didn't we? The Zim and Jim team.
Zim and Jim.
In the end, we did. And in the end, we did.
Yeah,
It's just like I just think it's so much fun. I think it's I don't think it's a deep racing game. If anyone's looking for, I wouldn't call this a racing game. I'd just call it a really quick, easy, fun game to pick up and play. I wouldn't say it's a deep racing game. I wouldn't really describe it as a racing game. It sounds weird saying that. It's got some Mario Kart aspects to it in a sense where you pick up weapons on certain modes and you can fire them off. That's not really that deep or involved, to be honest. That's quite toned down.
yeah.
It's a straight up fun pick up play game, which I think is more fun with friends in there, where you can have a natter and a laugh at each other as you're going through. And I think that's a good point on the co-op side as well, because there's so much there to try and unlock that going through the campaign side of it just by yourself could get in that situation where it's not so fun. Someone who doesn't want to sit there and churn that, because there is a hell of a load to churn through. But if you've got somebody to come in and you have a natter with while you're trying to beat them, but they get first, they still unlock your content for you, then it's a win that way, I think.
I was just going to say, like
especially,
BMF pointed that out, and I forgot to say it as well. You can play this in so many different ways. You can play using the analog sticks to drive. You can actually get an RC remote, holding the trigger and then turn a little dial. You can actually hold a steering wheel when you're looking down on the track, like almost like micro machines, like GT was saying. Or you can be inside the car. Again, there's some kind of methods. And there's so many different camera angles.
You can following the car as well.
Yep. And any variation you can think of how a camera could be in a game, it's got it and more.
And also, you've got the benefit now of the 2-hour refund policy. So it's one of those things.
Oh, I still think it's worth getting. Don't get me wrong. Like I say, if you like multiplayer and you like the look of the game, I think you're going to have an absolutely fun time.
Sweet. How you doing, Secrets of? Good to see you. Semi said, or Samaya, I think his name might be. I don't know if he's got an A in there. He said, did anyone think of having Blades or Sorcery or Hellsplit on PSVR? Yes, everyone. Everyone has thought about that. They would love it. Those games are an absolute blast. And I think Gorn is kind of the happy version of them. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just as bloody, but it's cartoony. So I think Gorn's going to give people what they want. They want that, don't they? They want that violence and, but not to feel bad about it because it looks like a cartoon.
Yeah.
Tom and Jerry, At the end of the day, I used to love that when I was a kid. Not once did I ever realise it was violent until someone tried to point it out to me.
It's funny you say that. I thought exactly the same thing. I was like, when you actually watch now, because I was like, to my kids, I was like, let's watch this. You'd love this. And I was like, hang on a sec, Jesus, they're doing some pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah, man. Bricks in the teeth.
Well, my mum was watching. My mum was watching Home Alone 2 a few days ago off the Disney Plus network. She was. I was just thinking. I was like, "You're watching Home Alone 2?" She goes, "Well, there's bloody nothing else on." I was like, "Fine." I just sat down and watched it, and that film is ultra violent, really, if you think about it. But honestly, I couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah,
especially the bit with the kid with the bricks where he's throwing them down. And poor old, is it Marv? Is just getting hit in the face time after time.
Took a beating, dude. Yeah, it was good.
First time I saw the original film was on Betamax on pre-release. They used to do the Betamax.
I'm holding it in. I'm holding it in.
Betamax.
I couldn't. It came out. I was like sick. On Betamax.
I cried for half an hour watching that thing though. Nice. It just made me laugh so hard.
The first time alone for me is always going to be special. I think it is a Christmas film, to be fair.
It is.
Well, it is a Christmas film.
There you
Both
go.
of
Then.
them are.
We agree.
Yeah, but then people say that about
Die Hard. Die Hard is a Christmas film.
It is a Christmas film, Die Hard.
Set in Christmas.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Nice. Tetris Effect is also coming to Oculus Quest. What do we think of that, boys?
Great.
Awesome.
Ain't gonna buy it again. I've got it on PlayStation VR. I've paid it. The one thing I'm really interested to see about Tetris Effect is its pricing, because obviously this is specifically
Oh,
a
it was
VR
quite an
only
expensive
game.
game on release, wasn't it? It was like
It was-
35.
It still is. If you actually look at it, it's still, if it isn't
Yeah.
on sale, it's a very expensive game. The thing with Tetris Effect on PC, PlayStation VR, whatever it is, it's a VR and a non-VR game. This is obviously only going to be VR only.
Yeah.
So will it be compensated in the price? So it won't be £35, it might be £20 or £25. If it's £25, I think that's a much fairer price. If it's £30 or £35, it's like that's a bit too much because you're asking for a single VR game that you offered on every other platform, PC and PlayStation VR, you offered us a standard version or a VR version. So
That's an
it's
interesting
great
point.
to see it.
But it's like, I suppose, if you are a VR owner, would you play that game not in VR?
I have. I played it
Did
both. Don't get me wrong. The
Yeah, I
VR
played it
version
not
is
VR as well.
so much better. But yeah, it's the same with Resident Evil 7. You play Resident Evil 7 in VR. It's such a vastly superior game. But I have played it normal because I've just kind of been sitting on my bed and it's just like, well, I go, oh yeah, I've got Tetris Effect. Let's give that a go. Because I've played Lumines as well, and I always loved Lumines. And in reality, Tetris Effect is very similar to Lumines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That point you just said then about just sitting on my bed. Before, Tetris Effect for me was my ultimate chill out game on PSVR, and I'd always play on VR, even though it's like that extra effort, I suppose. But my before my PSVR was set up in front of my TV, and it just aimed, so it was just easy to pick up and shove that on and play Tetris Effect. Having the option to play that on Quest, where I can again just sit anywhere in the house, or just in bed or whatever, I am really excited to try that out.
I just want to
really to it.
One of the greatest moments I think in VR I've had was in Tetris Effect. I was doing a 24-hour. This is when I just had PSVR, 24-hour charity stream for cancer research, and this was my second to last game. Firewall we finished on, and I was like, I messed up my timings. Basically, it was my father's birthday the night before. I thought it was a great idea to start at midnight, so I'd done a whole day and then another 24 hours. So I'd done something like 38 hours awake. And I was playing this, dude, and it was like you go into the game. I was playing it with not even realising I was sort of playing it. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's sort of chatting and stuff. And someone said to me afterwards, like, dude, have you ever watched that video of you playing it? I was like, no, I haven't. And they went, you were brilliant. Like, you were amazing at playing it. But I do remember kind of just melting into the game, like forgetting.
But that
I was
is the
playing the game.
Tetris effect. That is.
Yeah,
the
it was all.
Tetris
That's what I'm
effect. The
saying.
point of it.
It's fantastic. I think the music and the visuals of this make this so special. And bear in mind, like Tetris is one of those games that once you start playing it, you kind of get addicted to, and then add on those visuals, add on the depth of virtuality, add on the amazing music. It's a brilliant game, and I can't wait for it.
I can't wait for it to be on Quest. I think the improved clarity and resolution as well are going to do wonders for those visuals.
Yeah.
I think we may just have to roll with an animated version because you may not have seen the animated one or know what's going on there.
What we got? So, South Memphis, thank you ever so much for the donation. It says Hippo character in tactical gear does tactical flanking maneuver hand gestures. Sounds dodgy as hell. But
It looks a bit dodgy, to be fair.
we've got two
It
versions.
looks fantastic though.
We've got two versions of Salsa available. We've got one by 40 Muppet, which is like an animated version of the goal thing, or we've got the real. So, if anyone can quickly just let me know in the chat if you prefer the real Salsa or the animated Salsa, that'd be great because South might not have got the message. GT is body tracking coming out for PSVR. Dude, unfortunately, I don't think it is in any way, shape or form. I just don't think that's going to happen.
It's coming out for PC VR, not in any time soon.
Well, body
Well,
tracking.
you got already full backing body tracking on PC.
Yeah.
Not to the extent I think he's looking at like Ready Player One type stuff. It's like no, that's years away for it to be a cost effective.
Do you mean like a Connect version?
You do have other stuff, but yeah, you've got legs and everything there.
All right, so we got a lot of real going on, and then Boy Brand says a Brucey bonus, same as that. Let's do both. So let's go. So German Rifter, €10. Congratulations on the 44th show. Loved every single one. Cue Salsa clip. You don't know how happy this makes me. Excellent, man. And Midlife has just popped in. He said, let's do one of each. Another superb show.
Oh, there we go. We've done it.
Oh, it's happening again.
Let's just keep rolling it.
So, German
Rolling it,
Rifter,
man.
€10.
He's paid his
Congratulations on
money.
the 44 show.
Thank you.
Loved every single one. Cue Salsa clip. You don't know how happy this makes me.
So yeah, thank you ever so much for your donations, guys. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. Anything you want to add to this show today, guys, or do you want to talk about Undead Citadel quickly? We didn't really talk about that, but I don't know how much everyone knows about Undead Citadel on the show.
Not too much.
I know it's on the coming soon list to Steam. That's about it.
Yeah, I did
Been
play
on
it.
there for quite a while.
It's a fantastic looking game. I have played it back in Gamescom. Let me just get this new clip up.
It's one of those ones that looked like it was going to have those physics that we've seen in Walking Dead since. And that was one of the things that looked really interesting about it, was the kind of visceral melee combat where it's going to like cut into them and then you'd have to do another hard swing or something. So I'm not sure if it's going to be one of those ones that's unfortunately going to miss the window in that sense, because Walking Dead's kind of been there, done that, probably to a higher degree with AAA's behind it. So have to see.
I mean, when I played it, graphically, it looked absolutely brilliant. I played it on the Rift. I played it with 3D rudder as well. It is coming to PSVR. And I think it's another reason a lot of people are excited about it. You might have touched on some stuff there when you're talking about... but it's a smaller dev team. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yep.
Like, Skydance Interactive, I don't know how many people are working on Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, but I know it's probably a quarter on here or something. Do you know what I mean? It might even be. It might even be a couple of people. There's only one guy I've ever met with this game. But as I said, when I played it before, the weapons seemed like to not have any weight. It was all everything looked beautiful, but without the weapon weight, which is what you get in Saints and Sinners. I do think actually in Saints and Sinners sometimes it's a little bit over the top. The weapon weight, like you pick up a baseball bat and it's like floppy, and I'm like,
yeah, I get what you mean.
It wouldn't be that way. Do you know what I mean? For me personally, I wish I could sort of adjust it. Maybe I don't know, but maybe
everybody else doesn't do the same amount of weights as you. That's what it is,
mate. Guns are made Arnie 21s, very easy. 7.5 reps at the bicep, 7.5 reps at the top, and then
because it's
reps.
GT's so young and buff. When he gets to my age and things don't stay as hard as they should be, he won't worry about things being floppy.
Scott has put in there one more time.
Oh, fantastic! Thank you very much, Scott. And there you go. Thank you ever so much. Cheers, BMF, man. Yeah, cool. So, Undead Citadel, I'm hoping to maybe get some gameplay of this on the channel. There is gameplay of it from Gamescom, but it's not like full screen and stuff. You'll see me waving my arms around like a lunatic. And funny enough, when I finish playing it, people come up to me and they're like, "You're really good at that game." But it's weird. You could have a 9-foot massive hammer and it weighed nothing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you could just be like around people and they're all going, "Ah." So I really hope, all that stuff.
Well, I did find that you could actually get a proper swing with the baseball bat one-handed.
What, on Walking Dead?
Yeah. If you actually swung the baseball bat around your head that way and then go whack, it will kill them.
Okay.
With one hand. Otherwise, you do have to get two. But it's really hard to get it to do it. It's the same with an axe as well. You can, you don't have to do two-handed with the axe if you swing it far enough.
What about if you spin? You know what I mean?
If you, this is where the Quest version is going to come in.
Right.
You're going to learn to have
Take
axes
run-ups
in both hands, just spin them around, and you are a spinning top of death.
What would happen, right? Say in VR you're playing the game and you walked up your stairs in real life and then jumped off them. Could you then impale someone in VR? Do you know what I mean?
You could probably
'Cause you
damage
would then-
yourself
you'd
quite a
start
lot,
on
and we
if
don't
you're gonna
advise
try that,
anybody
GT,
to do it.
Please
We
record
don't
it.
advise to anybody to do it.
I'm just saying, like, you'd start with an advantage, you know? I don't know. I mean, if there's loads of hordes coming, like, say you...
Well,
say
no, I
you,
think I'd probably get to the point where they'll auto-level you at that.
say you mess up, yeah, and it's like night time, you've missed your boat, the alarm's going off, you're thinking, oh, shit, I'm about to get... Could you just then stand on a chair in real life and go, huh, can't reach me anyway? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, you'd be
The
levitating.
sofa might be more reasonable, I think, than the top of a flight of stairs.
Yeah, but you don't have to be at the top of the stairs. You know, I'm just saying, like...
No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
I wondered if that could
Can
work.
they still get you if you literally lie on the floor?
We are
Play
not
possum.
just for pure out clarity, we are not advising anybody jump off the top of any stairs while they are wearing a VR helmet.
It'd be pretty cool if you played it on a bouncy castle. If you just kept pressing
Bouncy
forward
castle, that's
and you were just bouncing all around the game, that'd be pretty awesome.
VR Link experiments. That's going to be the side shows that we
VR
do.
Link's bouncy castle while wearing a Quest. Oh my god, you know this is going to happen.
Exactly. So, yeah, that's all the news we've got for you this week. Does anyone want to add anything on the show at all? You guys? Is there anything that we haven't talked about or you want to talk about? I
Don't think so, man.
We've covered a lot of stuff. Thank you to everyone in the chat.
Good.
If you've got any subjects or anything, you know, quickly, we can cover them in 10 minutes. That'd be great.
Well, it's been great to actually talk about PlayStation VR so
Yeah,
much
it's-
in a positive
man.
light.
Mate,
to be
I was
honest.
so relieved. Like, because the first relief actually come from Star Wars. That's how I think the week started. Was it was Star Wars?
I think it was Walking Dead.
Was it Walking
think
Dead
that
and then
happened
Star
first.
Wars?
But
Yeah,
it was
so
like so close together. It was
yeah.
all crazy.
So my
Yeah.
my contact email for Walking Dead was crazy. It was like they wrote to me and said suddenly I'd signed all the stuff and they sent me an email saying it's out May 5th, and it was May the 4th, but we
Yeah,
haven't
yeah.
got any keys. Thanks. I was like,
Yeah.
all right, what's the point of this then? Do you know what I mean? Like, it was all a bit crazy. Sony had
Yeah,
basically
yeah.
not given them any keys. So Daz Washford said, what about a trampoline mod dressed as a banana? Asking for a friend. It can work. Why not? I think that'd be a great mixed reality video. You know what I mean? That'd be awesome. If you could if you made a green bouncy castle, you could have it would just look like some is a banana bouncing in the game. That'd be absolutely fantastic.
I'm just
Googling green
wondering
bouncy
if,
castle.
so I haven't seen like many bananas in the game of The Walking Dead. Could we ask Wolfie to kill a zombie with a banana?
I feel like playing that
If
clip
there was
again.
one.
I must admit, it was a bloody good thing I did. What do you think about Lies Beneath? I think it's a must-buy game on the Quest. I haven't played it on PC. I'm assuming it's the same, but runs better. I think it's an excellent game. I think for the price, the amount of gameplay, and if you like the horror genre, I think it's really good.
I think that's another one again that it uses that physics aspect that's very similar to Walking Dead. Again, I'm comparing it to Walking Dead because I've not tried Boneworks or any of those kind of games. But the physics of hitting something and then the in-game weapon stopping it, lodging into something, whether it being like a bit of wood or something, because I was using that quite a lot in the game, going, right, stick my axe in the wall here, and it will stay there, put in the wood for you to kind of get whenever you want the next second, or if it's like in enemies and stuff. And that just adds so much to a game. Being able to, because normally a lot of games you'll just pass through things. If you're like sword fighting games, you just pass through them, and then you're like, it breaks the immersion so quickly.
Absolutely.
Whereas these games where it like connects, even if your real hand still moves, you can see the thing in game, and after a while you start to stop your real life.
Your brain
hand in
starts
place.
to feel like there's some form of weight.
Yeah, it
as
starts to connect.
Stops down, and you
Yeah.
go.
I've
Okay.
honestly found myself like making that noise when I've got like something stuck in a zombie. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to lift it up. I'm like,
And you're trying to.
well, I think.
Or you've gone in with the ice pick, and you've gone like a bit through a zombie's head, and it's like they're not dead yet, and you're sort of like, come on.
Yeah, you can keep
Yeah,
pushing.
yeah.
I tried to put my foot on someone the other day, So he like the zombie was on his knees. I'd got my bat stuck in him, and my initial thought was put my foot on their head
Yeah, brace.
to pull the bat out. Do you know what I mean? That was pretty cool.
Yeah, we have had somebody else ask as well. What do we think about Iron Man as well?
I think he's a pretty cool
There
character.
there was a interesting thing actually that was said by Shredder, about what he thought would be his likely contenders for Game of the Year.
Right.
And one of the ones he's actually put in there, along with The Walking Dead, was Iron Man VR. And obviously he's played it, but the rest of us haven't. And he's already putting that up
Yes, you have.
there for Game of the Year.
You've played it, Sals?
Yeah, but not to the amount that he has.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Agreed.
I.e., you and me, we've
And
played
that.
the
No, you've played it. Haven't you?
the
yeah,
intro,
I went to EGX.
Yeah.
but we haven't played the story of it. A Game of the Year needs
Who said this?
full
Sorry?
on Shredder.
I don't have a clue who that is.
He's like the president
Shuei
of
Yoshida,
Sony.
the president of Sony
Yeah.
Gaming.
Oh, I get you now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You're thinking who said this? Like he's someone he knows down the street or something.
Right.
Alex
That's not based on this poll.
Zoidberg whoop, 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 said, "Man, this is much better than F Reality." I don't know about that. It's a lot less professional, but we try and keep everyone happy. So yeah,
Except me, I'm miserable.
yeah. So we got Eeyore's in the corner. That's his thing. You know, probably gonna die. And the rest
No,
is
that's you get it wrong, GT.
sorry.
I'm so happy. It's wonderful out there.
There
The
you go.
sun is shining.
Why bother waking up only to go asleep again? All this stuff. Yeah, so guys, thank you ever so much for being here. Thank you for your likes, thank you for your comments. Thank you ever so much for your donations. And yeah, big shout out again to the patrons of the channel. This week, I've been saving up money and stuff, man, and I've got an Elgato light for the live streams, and it makes such a big difference. Because before, it was like, I had a builder's light, and dude, it was like summer in here all the time. So, yes, I'm really, really chuffed that you guys have helped me out in that way. So thank you ever so much. A massive thank you to my co-hosts, Dane from Get to the Chopper VR.
It's been awesome as always.
Nat from 7 Degrees Gaming.
Hi guys, bye bye.
And Salsa from Salsa Ketchup VR.
Take care, people.
Thank you guys. And yeah, look after yourselves. Have a great week. I'm sure you'll see us all online doing something in VR. No doubt. I'll probably make another 10 videos. But take care. Thank you ever so much, guys. Look after yourselves. Bye 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 bye.